Hi, I'm Nanette Giacomo, and I am the Chakrapreneur. And today we're going to take a journey with Taliesin the Bard, and we'll delve into the story of how you got to where you are today. As you dive into your dreaming mind, your imagination, and your intuition, you'll engage your sixth, your third eye chakra. And the bard is part of yourself that weaves the threads of your soul story. He helps us to recognize underlying truths, wisdom, and learn from our mistakes. He helps us to intuit when we're on the right path and when we're not, and how we are connected with each other and with the other stories and archetypes and symbols that come along our way. He helps us to unravel how we reflect on our story, our ancestral stories, our current story, and to understand our sacred relationship with spirit. So, if you'll just take a moment now and get seated if you're not already, and relax, sit in a relaxed state, preferably with your feet on the floor, preferably not lying down so you don't fall asleep. And just go ahead and take a couple of deep cleansing breaths and just really allow them to release them fully. Take a couple more. Okay. And then just breathe normally. And just gradually let your eyes close and settle into your body. And just notice how your body feels right now. You don't have to change a thing. You just have to allow it to be where it is and how it is. And just settle in and get comfortable. If you have any tense places, you can breathe into those. And with the exhalation, release that tension. So imagine that you are walking on an ancient road in the 6th century AD. This road has been used for centuries by travelers, roving from villages to cities and back again. Some travel on foot, some by carriage, others on horseback. Observe your surroundings for a moment. Just notice everything. Take your time. Where are there any animals? Any plants? Any structures? Are there any people, or other beings on this road? Or do you travel alone? What is the weather? Just take in all the details. You are on a journey to find and learn from the famous nomadic bard Taliesin, the storyteller, the poet, the musician and songwriter. You are to become his apprentice. He will pass on to you generations of oral tradition in the form of poetry and song. He knows the magical power of words and has great intuitive insight. While most bards are hired by royalty to tell their stories, Taliesin prefers to travel at will, bringing wisdom and news from all over the country to any who will truly listen. He tells of kings and queens, of wars and births and deaths, of heroes, and he knows your story by heart. Rumor has it that he is going to visit the fairy queen Boudica in the fairy forest. There lies magic that will empower you to forget and to remember the poet within. It is essential that you connect with this aspect of yourself for your soul growth. You travel for some time on the road under the hot sun. Your feet are weary and you long for some shade. You stop to take a sip of water from your flask. What do you observe in that pause? Just allow yourself to be in the moment. As you continue walking, you notice the sky is getting dark. It soon begins to rain, lightly at first, and then the clouds relieve themselves of their heavy load. Rain pours from the sky. Thunder booms. Lightning cracks overhead. You look for shelter but find none. Quickly, you are drenched. Even your shoes fill with water. Water flows in the road, creating muddy puddles, which you try to avoid without much success. You must draw deeply on your resources to carry on in the adverse weather conditions. You see a sign for the fairy forest at a bend in the road. You run for the shelter of the trees. When you enter, the rain stops, and immediately you feel magic in the air. It is pleasant here under the canopy of the trees, where shadows form deep, dark pools on the ground. What do you notice about this forest? What kinds of trees and foliage do you see? Are there any animals? Out of the corner of your eye, you see a twinkle of lights, but then when you turn to look, there are only shadows. As you gaze around, you notice a ring of orange toadstools. Curiosity grabs you, and you feel drawn to them. Slowly, you step into the toadstool ring and immediately find yourself transported to the side of a hill with tall, swaying grass and delicate flowers. It is sunny and warm here. You inhale the sweet fragrance rising from the flowers and try to remember some long-forgotten song. As you puzzle over this, a breeze stirs the air around you, and suddenly Taliesin appears. He smells like spring air and green grass. The name Taliesin means shining brow, and you wonder if he may be a fairy himself. What do you notice about this remarkable being? He begins to sing a song while playing his lyre. This song is for you. Listen carefully for the meaning and wisdom that is intended just for your ears. It stirs hidden emotions within. What surfaces? Once the music is done, he sets down his lyre and picks up a musical instrument next to him. This instrument is for you. He places it in your hand, and your inner bard ignites. What instrument do you play? With a rush of understanding, you weave the forgotten archetypal threads, symbols, and songs into your soul, the forgotten stories. You hear with a new understanding your music playing. Allow it to flow through you and become part of the wisdom that you take into the world and that you take into your soul. How does this knowledge affect you? Taliesin says that embracing your inner poet with song is the first step to becoming a bard. He tells you that the world is your book and that you must learn to see your life with the eyes of a poet, always looking for the meaning in the symbols that come your way. Open yourself up to your divine creativity and be one with the mythology and stories of all the people you've encountered, of all the situations, past, present, and future. He kisses you on both cheeks, and he slowly fades away, leaving you alone once more in the fairy forest. How has your encounter with Taliesin changed your awareness? Look around with fresh eyes for archetypes and symbols that are now present in your life. What do you notice? Listen with depth to how all your stories are woven together now and throughout time with others. From somewhere in the ethers, you hear Taliesin reciting a poem by William Blake. Oh, hear the voice of the bard, who present, past, and future sees, whose ears have heard the holy word that walked among the ancient trees. As his voice fades, your awareness comes back into the present moment. You listen for the noises in the room where you are. You wiggle your fingers and toes. Notice how you sit. Notice the smells and how you feel. And then take your time, opening your eyes and take in your surroundings with fresh eyes. If you want to know more about me or contact or connect with me, you can go to www.nenegiacomo.com. Have a beautiful day.